Hey guys, welcome back to my day 22 of Road to Grandmaster. So today it's my round 7 in the Commonwealth tournament. All right. So let's see. So this game I play against a 2100 FIDE master. All right. So let's see. So we start with e4. I play c5 with c3, the Alapin. D5, e takes d5, queen takes d5, and this position I decided to play g6. Well, which is like an interesting line. Knight f3, bishop g7, knight a3. Alright, this is actually theory. Takes, bishop c4, queen e4, and then bishop e3. This is actually still theory. Right. In this position, d takes e3 will be a blunder because of bishop takes f7, king takes f7, and knight g5. You win your queen. If you go king f8, we're gonna check, and then knight g5. It's the same thing. So after bishop e3, the move here is knight h6. Defends the pawn. With knight to b5. Again, he's threatens knight c7 check. Alright, and then now he's not even taking the rook. Alright, just checkmate. So castles. And now knight c7 will be the blunder because of the takes. Then we take on c4. So we have c takes d4 was playing the game, and now he is threatening knight c7 check. And in this position, I play knight to c6. Actually, I've prepared this position, prepared this opening before, prepared this line before, but it's actually a long time ago. I actually just totally forgot the line. Right, I remember something like there's something bishop h3 and then some stalemate. Sorry, not stalemate, some draw, some perpetual idea, but I just forgot. So after I finish the game, I go check the line. So the line is actually knight f5. While the pawn is after knight c7, we go knight c6, take the rook, knight takes d4. Now we want to take this one, and take the bishop. Take, castles, and now bishop h3. Now we go here, check. If you go king g2, then, okay, knight h4, queen g2 should be checkmate. Alright, so king h1, knight e2, if you go f3, queen takes e3. So, okay, then draw. Unfortunately, I can't remember this line. So I decided to just play knight c6. Right? If knight c7, then rook b8. Alright, this move is actually still nice. Alright, decent. We have castles, and now I go knight f5. Rook e1, I take on e3. We have rook takes e3, and now I play queen f4. Alright, this is the best move actually. Play g3 and then queen f6. Alright, so yeah, basically, um, okay, I think not. I guess nothing special. So okay, so now the threat is a6, sorry, a6, and then knight takes d4, I guess. Yeah. So I play knight e5. So this move actually threatens many things. Right, this actually threatens many things. First of all, first look at this. This two pawns actually a little bit weak, right? Especially the e7 pawn. This one is still maybe still fine. So the idea of knight e5, you're putting pressure on not only f7 pawn. Now he intends to trade the knight on c7, and then even make your e7 even weaker. For instance, let's say you play some random line, like I don't know, let's give us dumb move. So there's two move here. There's two winning idea. One is knight c7, rook b8, and knight d5. Now attacking your queen and pawn, you go queen d6, he trade, and then take on e7. The second threat is he want to go rook f3. Okay, for instance, h6, you want to go rook f3, and now actually the f7 pawn is falling. You can't move the queen and defend the pawn at the same time. Alright, for instance here, I guess just knight takes 7. Go bishop f5 and g4, yeah. Maybe we can take, but then takes and takes. Yeah. So this is the whole point, the whole idea. So this position, of course, I could also take, but I just try and not allow d takes e5, and then give him some space, some space advantage. I know I have the bishop pair, but like for instance, queen b6. Some rook c1, and I have to activate rook maybe this way, and then bishop here, rook c8. It's still a good game. It's still a normal game. But I thought like he's up in development, I guess. So like he can immediately activate all his pieces. But okay, this is of course fine. Right, I think the main problem is also he got some space advantage. My bishop is not that great usually. Right, if you look at Alpha Zero game, you could many of the game they show this idea like e5 blocking this bishop. But I mean it's still fine. Of course, there's no problem. So after knight e5, knight takes e5 is a like a backup plan. Right, so I try to find another defense to defend this pawn and this pawn, and then I find this move a6. Now, if you move the knight, well, okay, I mean, also when you play knight e5, d4 and e5 is a bit shaky. Also, I want to go to queen d6, but now I can't. Putting pressure on this isolated pawn. So I go a6. Now if you go rook f3, it doesn't work because of bishop f5 blocking this one. Now you don't have time to play g4 because I take your knight and attack your bishop. So you have to move your knight, and I just win a pawn on e5 or even d4, right? But okay, just knight takes e5 is just simplest way. So after a6, if you move the knight, I guess, just, I don't know, maybe rook d8. Yeah, maybe rook d8. So even in this position, knight c7 actually doesn't even look good here because of rook d8. So in the game, he played knight c7 immediately. So you have two plans here, knight c7 and rook f3. Rook f3 doesn't work, so he played knight c7. And now, okay, I didn't play bishop f5, so there's no rook d8. So basically, I have to move the rook. But if I just move my rook, you have knight d5, queen d6, takes, and you win like this. So the idea of a6 is I'm trying to play rook a7 to defend this pawn, knight d5, and now my queen got to d6. Right, d6 square. It's what I'm looking for my queen the whole game. So if they don't play like g3, I'll just simply go a6, queen d6. It's simply putting pressure on this pawn. I just feel like this is the best square for the queen, and then rook d8, bishop f5, rook c8. Okay, it's normal game. So I go rook a7. Now the real threat is b5, I guess, maybe, and attack the knight on c7. This one, he got knight d5, but now the problem is I just go queen d6, and this is defended. In the game, he played knight takes c6, and I played b takes c6. I defend the e7 pawn with the rook, right? So, and now also his center is a bit shaky. Now I even open up the bishop. E6 could be a threat, attacking the d pawn. Bishop e6 could be a move. Now, well, the best move here is actually knight takes f7, which is quite shocking for me. The rook takes f7, and knight takes e7, b3, f6, takes, and take on e7. And we have this position, which I have bishop pair, but he have pawn and rook. Or actually two pawn and rook for a bishop. But in this position, we have the bishop pair. Right. So actually, this bishop pair is very strong in such open position, especially in this case. It's very open. There's a weakness on d4, so it's actually still just better for black. So actually, like after a6, it's already slightly better for black. Okay, 7 in the game, he decided to take on c6, which is not a great move according to the engine because I take, and after the knight move, I take on d4. He played knight b6 in the game. I simply take on d4. At some point, I also considered this move, but I thought like he can take 6 and go queen b3. Yeah, attack this pawn. If I go e6, he even her rook takes e6. Now I have to go some passive move like rook fa or maybe e5. E5 looks good. Right? Or maybe rook f. Wait, I think it's rook d1. Yeah. So simply bishop takes, and also if I take with the queen, like right? Like let's say takes and then go for trade queen. It's different color bishop. It's actually still hard to win. Like takes, rook takes, bishop takes. For instance, right? Queen takes d4, knight takes, queen takes, bishop takes, rook e2. I know it's for sure it's a win because there's rook. So, but it just make it harder to win. So I play bishop takes d4, and now it's different color bishop. So as we all know, in different color bishop, if in endgame this might be a draw, but if in middle game, what we want to do is to go attack. Is to go attack because like if you attack on a dot square, he can't defend on dot square because he only have light square bishop. If he attack on my light square, I can't defend it because I only have dark square bishop. So this is like some kind of theory, right? Like some kind of strategy of middle game. So we want to go attack. If he play takes, and he go rook f3, I simply play e6 and build up all the pawn on light square, right? And then now I think my king is very safe. You know, all my pawns on light square and bishop covers the dark square. So this position of the queen e2, I play c5, defending the pawn. He play rook d1, and in this position I'm thinking, actually I want to play some move like rook b8, something like this. I just forgot about b3. That's b3, but okay. I'm so of course it's b3, but I'm thinking what should I do now, right? So I'm up a pawn, the d4 pawn. So I understand that I'm up a pawn. So basically I for sure have one side pawn majority. So now my pawn majority is on king side. So if I go for some rook b8, you know, b3, a5, a4, I don't think it worked. You know, like for what? Like what you attacking what are attacking for? So with this like kind of understand this, I don't know is it correct, but this is what I think in the game. So basically, also it's different color bishop, and there's queen on the board. So I want to go attack, and also because of my pawn majority on the king side, I want to try expand on the king side. So e5, f5 comes to mind very easily. But now if I do this, you know, this is a little bit weak. So I go king g7. He played b3. I go e5. Now my threat is f5, and then keep expanding the king side, and then try to bring more attack. Go like this. He played g4. Right, stopping f5. Also a very clever move, a very smart move to try to go for some attack. You know, we'll see later. So this position, I mean, in this position, we're both already a little bit down time. I missed this move e4, so my idea of f5 is to go e4. Again, I'm build up all my pawn on dots on light square and with the dot square bishop, so it's very good in my opinion. Right, so the idea is to go f5 e4, and I also attacking the rook. The rook is actually almost trapped. Right, so he played g4, very clever move. Now, I played rook e8 with the idea of e4, but I just missed e4 to be honest. He can't take because I just take, and I win the rook. So let's say after e4 you go here and okay, queen f4. Now my queen joined the attack, and Brax just much better. So I go rook e8. Actually, it's like a miss. He go rook h3, a very creative move. The idea is trying to go queen d2 because now my bishop can't go back to defend. So I play e4 in the game, and he play queen d2. Go attack, trying to go some attack and trying to like maybe cheese me, you know. Queen h6 is a real threat in this position. After the king move, queen takes h7. Right, and oh, how can I defend here in this position? So before it, I saw queen d2 of course. So why I play e4? Because I thought I have this move e3. You know, because after takes, I have bishop takes e3, takes e3, and takes d2, and I'm up an exchange. I'm simply up an exchange and just completely winning. Of course, it's an easy win. But after you play queen d2, right, I realized that e3 can take with the rook. Right, at this point, I think we're both a little bit down on time. It's a 1 hour and and half classical game, and at this point we're like 10 minutes left, you know. So I saw rook takes e3, and after rook takes e3, pawn takes. Now I have bishop takes e3, which is winning. Right, and followed by queen takes d1. But oh my god. Right, yeah, but he can play queen takes e3. Now there's a pin here. And now I just give up my pawn. Actually, this position is still better for black because, like I said, the queen is still on the board. Although now I'm not up a pawn. Now the material is equal, but I guess the reason is we haven't traded the queen, so that's mean the king is still a little bit weak, and we can still attack them. And with different color bishop attack, it's very strong. That's attack's gonna be very strong. So I saw it doesn't work. So then how to stop this? I don't want to play a passive move. Of course I can play f6, I think. Queen h6 and king f8 and it's defender. Yeah, probably that's f6. Yeah. But like I said, we're low on time, and also my opponent's a FIDE master. He's a FIDE master. So like at that point I'm thinking like, oh, if the game end in a draw, like it's enough for me. It's enough for me. Because like he's a FIDE master, I can at least add many rating points still. So I think a draw is still fine. Although if I draw such a game, it's gonna be painful because I'm basically winning, you know. But I don't know what I'm thinking about that time. So I decided to go for some tricky line, and also because both of us is down on time, so I try to go for some interesting idea. So in this position, I go for bishop takes f2. Now this is not losing. This is not losing. This is actually equal because I have at least and perpetual check. Right. Apparently, but the best move here is h5, which is like a little bit hard to find. The idea is take. Now you go queen d7. Right? It's like it looks dangerous, but now you go queen d7. And okay, now you win back the pawn like this. If you go h6 check, and now your rooks join the attack. Something like this. Right, something like this. And it's still a different color bishop attack. The queen is still on the board, and then our attack still is gonna be very strong for sure. Like this. So I didn't see it. Like I said, we're low on time. So I go bishop takes f2, king takes. Well, the idea of bishop takes f2 is if you play queen takes, of course I take a rook. So king takes, now I go e3. He takes, now I go queen takes h2. Now, there's two moves here. One is king e1, which is what played in the game. Or one is king f3, and king f1 is blunder because your defender of the rook is queen. So now I just get rid of that queen and then chop off the rook. And I'm just up an exchange and up even up to pawn. So after queen takes h2, basically he have to defend the rook with the king or defend the queen with the king. Right, king f3 is what I don't hope if it's happened in the game. I don't hope it happened in the game because there's no play for me. It's just a forced draw. It's like this. Right. If you go king e2, it actually transposes after queen takes g4, queen g2. It actually transposes in the main in the gameplay in the line play in the game. Now there's one more trick still, which is king f4. Okay, so after here, there's one trick still, which is king f4, because now we have take and g5, and it takes and rook takes, queen takes e3. We win the queen, king e4, rook e7. This is the last tricks. Alright, my opponent didn't go for it. He go for king e1, which is also draw. Now I go queen g1. Actually, every move is draw here. Queen g1, queen g3, even queen h1 is draw here. I decided to go queen g1 is more forcing because you can't, of course, you can't play bishop f1, which just take a free rook. So you go king e2, basic only move. I take. Now at least in this position, there's some tricks still. King e1 was playing the game. I think it's only move. So I'm skewered the king and the rook. you have to defend the rook with your king. Now, remember the king can never go to the d file because I just go check. So the king has to defend the rook. Let's say you go king here or king f1. I just take a rook, queen takes, and then takes. Right, so let's say king f2. Now I have this move, rook takes e3. The point is queen takes, and now I go queen takes d1. If king takes, actually transposed in the main game. Yeah. So I'll show you later. So I go queen g1, queen takes g4. Of course, you find a move, king e1. And now I'm thinking, I want to go take and rook e7. But the e7 square is undefended. Of course, I go for perpetual, like queen f2. Sorry, like queen g3 or queen g1. But I decided to play queen h4. This is still a draw, but it's more tricky. The idea is to take and rook e7. Now, if you go like any move, I at least have a perpetual check for sure. So this move is actually fine. So the move here, the only move here is king f1. Right, point being, after king e2, I have rook takes e3 check. So the move here is queen f1, king f1. And after takes, you take with the queen. And after rook takes rook e7, there's no pin here. This is the point. Right, so, and still draw. I might go for some perpetual check, like queen f4 or queen f3, doesn't really matter. It's a draw. But in the game, my opponent is like so low on time, like down to 1 minute, I think. So he played the move king e2, and it's a blunder. So I go rook takes e3 immediately. Point being queen takes e3, I go rook e7, and I win for sure. I have queen for rook bishop and three passes plus. So you go king takes e3, and now I calculate this line. So I play the simplest way, which is queen g3 check, rook e7. I think it's still win. Yeah, I still win, but queen g3 is the best. So rook e7. You can't go here because rook d7, so you go queen f3. And now it's only 3 moves to win. Rook e5. To go rook f5, I guess. Queen h5 and queen h3. Oh yeah, I mean, it's hard to find. Hey, it's easy to find those moves, but it's hard to find how to win. So I decided just to play queen g3. Right. If you go here, I go check. Check. This is what I calculate. I might have some quicker checkmate. I'm not sure because this is actually what I calculate in the game. So check. Yeah, it's the fastest checkmate. Yeah, I checked the engine. So this is the point. And if you go king e2, now if I go rook e7, there's king f1. But actually, it's still winning because I have rook e5. Yes, I have rook e5 according to the engine. Then rook f5 check, and then rook f2 win the queen, and still win. But it's hard to play. It's hard to know if in the real game because there's no engine. You don't know if opponent have some defense, right? So I just play the simplest way, which is queen g2. Again, the king can't go to the d3, but the king the king have nowhere to go because if the king go e1, so if you don't want to go d3, you can only go e3 and e1. If you go e1, it's checkmate or lose your queen. If you go to e3 again, I think check. Again, king d3, rook d7, so you have to go here, but then checkmate. So in the game after queen g2, you play king d3, and I go check and take the queen, and now I just completely winning. It's queen versus rook and bishop, and I even have 3 pass pawns. So okay, we play a few more moves like h5. I just push my passer. Alright, takes. There's fork. If you go rook d7, I just keep pushing, and then sacrifice the queen for rook and bishop, and then the pass pawn is gonna be queen. Bishop d5, queen f4, h4. Trying to go rook f3. Okay, not allowing that with f5. And okay, there's 3 passer, and in position he resigns. So we win a FIDE Master in a classical game, in a federated classical game, right? I think this is the like the biggest win, the highest rated player I ever win in a classical game. Yeah. So okay, I'm happy. So the tournament is still have two more to go, two more games to go. So tomorrow I actually play a master, a FIDE master, like 2200 FIDE master. He's a top 10 in Malaysia, a very strong player. So I will tell who is him tomorrow. So yeah, I think today game is quite good actually. Right, there's only one blunder, which is bishop takes f2. I know it's winning, but I know it's winning, but I don't know if, like, for some reason I thought draw is fine, because it's FIDE master. So like, yeah. So actually, like, I'm not encouraged, to draw a FIDE master in a winning position, because like psychologically you're losing, because it's a FIDE master. So you draw a winning game. It's actually not a great idea. You should have played for a win, of course. But somehow I still managed to win the game like this. Just like a cheap tricks, and he fall for it, and then I got the win. So okay, but I mean it's still a great game still. So I quite, uh, I'm playing quite well, except the bishop takes f2 move. So okay, that's all for today. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, that's all for today. Take care. Bye.